Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hey guys, I was just trying to guess US presidents, and there was two I couldn't remember. Who the hell is Millard Fillmore? Sorry. Okay, crap. Where was I? I was somewhere. Oh yeah. Hey guys. So that made me want to kind of learn about some British prime ministers, and then I saw this video and I'm watching it. That is the story, the tale of me getting to this video. Okay? Just hope you're all doing well. Let's learn. What do former prime ministers do once they leave Downing Street? Good question. There's also a Downing Street geographics video I want to watch.
Just imagine being forced out of your job and chucked out of your home on the same day.
Oof.
The life of a prime minister is full of twists, turns, and turbulence, but it's all.
That's the thing, is you like I feel like there are these big like moments for presidents, like winning election and then maybe winning re-election, but prime ministers, I mean, okay, now I'm really curious. It seems like prime ministers are much more kind of like dispensable within the British government compared to the president in American government. So, yeah, okay.
Always toughest at the end.
I do not think it would be right for me to try to be the captain that steers our country to its next destination.
After all, most political careers end in failure.
I do so with no ill will, but with enormous and enduring gratitude to have had the opportunity to serve the country I love.
So what do you do after you've held the country's top job?
To be honest, that was kind of powerful. Like the kind of look. I'm sure I'm going to say so. I don't know British politicians. Okay, I'm bad enough on American politicians. So like, it's such a how dare you? You're having like sympathy for whoever. Theresa May, that's her name. But that was kind of nice.
Which perks do you keep, and which do you lose? The biggest perk to be given up is perhaps the home itself, a spacious 4-bedroom flat above number 11 Downing Street. Central London location, period features, 24-hour security, and the use of a large garden. Perfect for entertaining. Ex-Prime Ministers also forego use of Chequers, a luxurious official country residence.
Guys, are you telling me that the Prime Minister sleeps in a room like right above street level? Like they literally sleep there. That's
for entertaining. Ex-Prime Ministers also forego use of Chequers, a luxurious official country residence in Buckinghamshire. And the RAF Voyager, a plane used by the royal family and senior ministers, is also off limits. As for Larry the Cat, well, he's not moving anywhere.
I watched a video on the Mausers.
Some silver linings that come with the pressure of being Prime Minister do last a lifetime. All former PMs get to keep their armed close protection teams, which means an armoured car too. They are entitled to claim up to £115,000 a year to cover office and secretarial costs. This is called the Public Duty Cost Allowance and is intended to help former PMs continue to play a part in public life. They are also entitled to stay at British embassies and capital cities across the globe, but only if visits support UK government objectives. Some Prime Ministers are creatures of the Commons and stay on as MPs. Ted Heath stuck around for another 27 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're leaving Downing Street for the last time.
Margaret Thatcher made a tearful exit from Downing Street.
I can't imagine. Oh, there's so much I want to say.
After
just fast forward if you don't. I'm trying to think, like, why is it like I can't imagine a president. I think it all has to be tied to the different role they play, but the idea of a president going like back to the Senate or back to the Congress or like something, I don't think that's happened. Maybe it has, but that's an odd thing to think about, and I don't know why it should be.
Time.
Margaret Thatcher made a tearful exit from Downing Street. After 11 and a half years as PM, she soon swapped the green benches for the red ones, taking her seat as Baroness Thatcher in the House of Lords. She also set up a foundation, advised the tobacco company Philip Morris, and wrote 3 books.
When the curtain falls, it's time to get off the stage, and that is what I propose to do.
John Major's instinct after losing the 1997 election was to head to the Oval.
After that, I hope
Cricket?
that Norma and I will be able, with the children, to get to the Oval in time for lunch and for some cricket this afternoon.
He took on a series of corporate roles, turned down a peerage, and was also appointed a special guardian to Princes William and Harry, helping with their legal affairs after the death of their mother, Princess Diana. In 2007, Tony Blair left Number 10 and left Parliament on the same day.
I've come back here to Sedgefield, to my constituency, where my political journey began and where it's fitting that it should end.
He became Middle East envoy for the Quartet, the grouping of the United Nations, United States, European Union and Russia. Now Sir Tony Blair, he advised foreign governments and major companies, reportedly earning tens of millions of pounds, wrote his autobiography.
Writing my memoir, A Journey, has been a fascinating and enjoyable experience.
Responded to the Chilcot inquiry into the 2003 invasion of Iraq and unsuccessfully campaigned against Brexit.
They've literally created this issue of Brexit as if it's the answer to the country's problems, when it's literally the answer to nothing.
His successor, Gordon Brown, took a different approach.
And as I leave the second most important job I could ever hold, I cherish even more the first, as a husband and father. Thank you, and goodbye.
Cliché.
Leaving Number 10 with his wife and 2 sons, he moved back to Scotland, played a key role in the 2014 Scottish independence referendum, became UN Special Envoy for Global Education, and gave much of his earnings from books and speeches to charity. David Cameron's departure in 2016 was sudden. Soon after he lost the EU referendum, a shock result.
I will do everything I can as Prime Minister to steady the ship over the coming weeks and months. But I do not think it would be right for me to try to be the captain that steers our country to its next destination.
I mean, I said, of course, it's a sad night for me because I didn't want to be in this position. I wanted Britain to stay in a reformed European Union.
He became president of Alzheimer's Research UK and took on various corporate jobs. His work with one of them, the scandal-hit financial services company Greensill Capital, damaged his reputation. Mr Cameron lobbied the government on the firm's behalf before it collapsed.
I will shortly leave the job that it has been the honour of my life to hold.
This has sparked, I want to find out exactly like the duties of an American president and a British prime minister. And because I can't ignore the, I guess the polarizing nature, but I mean, you guys are definitely polarized over, how do I say this? Like, it seems like American presidents are a much bigger deal in America than PMs are in Britain. Is that fair? Just from like going back into other roles, where I feel like there's an idea of if you're president, like you reach the finish line, like in public life, like you're finished, right? Usually. And it's not like, oh, maybe I'll run for Senate next. Like, that would be insane. I mean, like if Bush or Obama, after like, all right, I'm going to run for like Ohio and Hawaii. Hawaii or Texas for George Bush, and like run for governor or something. Honestly, the fascination I'm having with how hard it is to wrap my head around that's what's making me so fascinated. Yeah, I want to explore the jobs
Theresa May
more.
had a painful departure from power in the midst of the Brexit deadlock.
The second female Prime Minister, but certainly not the last.
But she followed John Major's example, and the next day was spotted watching the cricket at Lord's. She has stayed in Parliament, occasionally making spiky interventions in debates.
Why then is the new National Security Advisor a political appointee with no proven expertise in national security?
Mrs.
May,
May,
I like this because it makes it like it makes it seem like the government is more of a group effort. In that, like, hey, you're up, okay, you're down. Now it's completely reasonable for you to return back to what you were doing before president. Whereas in America, it's like it's all on the president. Like, yeah, and I like this. This just feels better because you're not giving the presidency such like a giant high status. New
National Security Advisor, a political appointee with no proven expertise in national security.
Mrs. May has a lucrative sideline in corporate speeches, earning between £38,000 and £136,000 a pop. And she is said to have an eye on another big job, Secretary General of NATO, a role yet to be held by a woman. The only official engagement when all former Prime Ministers gather together is Remembrance Sunday, when they meet alongside the royal family at the Cenotaph to commemorate servicemen and women who have lost their lives in wars and conflicts. When Boris Johnson's premiership comes to an end, his wife Carrie and their two children, Wilfred and Romy, will move out of their newly and expensively refurbished Downing Street flat. Mr Johnson will lose almost half of his £161,401 salary. He will keep the £81,932 he receives as MP for Uxbridge and West Ruislip, unless, of course, he decides to stand down from Parliament. But what might he do next? The international speaking circuit is a surefire way for former world leaders to cash in.
Yesterday I went, as we all must, to Peppa Pig World.
In the past, Mr Johnson has earned big, writing columns for the Daily Telegraph and authoring books. He was supposed to be writing one about William Shakespeare. Its publication has been repeatedly delayed. But the most painful adjustment of all is surely losing the power. From being here at the heart of the action, making massive decisions, meeting world leaders, to life away from government with far fewer commitments, where the phone doesn't ring quite as much, and also knowing, whatever the next challenge, nothing will compete with this.
You're such a downer. I don't know how. I mean, he's right. How are they going to deal with being less popular and not mattering anymore? Really interesting. And just the fact that like the Theresa May was like she could be the European Union Commission or NATO, some NATO thing that she was trying to be the first woman. I forget what it said. It doesn't matter. But the fact that the prime minister isn't seen as like the end of your career, as I think the presidency is over here. Does that make sense? That's a strange thing that I want to certainly explore. So hope you guys are doing well. Would appreciate any and all comments, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.